So if you guys have been paying attention at all to the Rittenhouse trial, you would know that it has been the absolute nightmare that I've been repeating ever since it began. So there's been a couple key issues since the trial started, even when Kyle was on the stand himself. The first major issue that everyone was talking about was the fact that Binger, who is the prosecuting attorney in the case, went after Kyle Rittenhouse and his right to remain silent in front of the jury while he was on the stand. And so that brought up the first kind of shakeup when it came to mistrials and that this was a prosecutorial misconduct. And if you remember, the judge said that he had never seen anything so reckless in his 40 to 50 years of being a sitting judge or working in the courtroom, which was just shocking. But the real issue today that's come out is that the mistrial that they're filing isn't even about that yet. It hasn't even been filed because something even worse has happened, and that is that the prosecution in this case withheld critical video evidence from the defense, and this video evidence was crystal clear video footage that the prosecution had, and they allegedly gave the defense this blurry, kind of distorted video evidence. So again, they entered trial with not having the same evidence, with which, if you have two brain cells, you would know that you need the same evidence to have a fair trial. So the first one that was filed was a mistrial with prejudice on Monday, and if that one goes through, that means that Kyle Rittenhouse can no longer be held to another trial if that one is approved. And today, another one was filed regarding the same issue with video evidence, and that is just a mistrial in general. Now, the judge in this case can't rule on either of those filings unless the jury comes to a conclusion or a verdict of something to that extent. And lucky for you guys, we actually have the footage if we can bring that up. So here you see the footage that the defense had, which is super, super blurry. Something out of a cartoon, perhaps. It's just atrocious. You're looking at shadows. Oh, and here's the prosecution's footage, right?
Oh, that's so much clearer.
Yeah, it's almost like we all put on glasses and can suddenly make out that those are human beings and not just blobs running around like some CGI animation. So it's absolutely ridiculous and just flat out crazy. So I guess I just want to ask you guys, once the jury makes a decision, just based on the ridiculous footage that we just witnessed, do you think that the judge will have grounds to grant a mistrial on that? And if he rules against that, do you think that they're going to refile in the case of your constitutional rights with the right to remain silent?
Yeah, those are good questions. To answer the first one, I think we actually have an inkling of that already. If you go over to westernjournal.com, the story that is blowing up biggest for us right now, it's actually the biggest story we've had in a while, is about the judge himself saying his nightmare has come true. And what he's talking about there is that the jury is wanting to see the footage over again. They're wanting to see more of the footage. That I think does not bode well. If the prosecution had better images that they could have shown, they sat on those, they held them back, then I think that's unbelievably damaging to the prosecution's case. After all, if you have better information, why wouldn't you use it? Unless you think it's going to be bad for your side.
Yeah, that's what I was just like, I couldn't wrap my head around is it's just a better video. And so I didn't get why the prosecution didn't use it unless there was something to hide from it.